Kiona, welcome back again to this week's soccer betting news video as we'll be discussing the final of the Nedbank Cup. I'm not alone. With me is my partner in crime, Desh Parthab. Desh, how are you, man?
Hi, Ayanda. Hi, SPN viewers.
Yeah, I'm feeling good, man. It's the last game in this 2022-2023 season. It's the Domestic Cup final. Nedbank Cup, Orlando Pirates up against Sekhukhune United. Your thoughts on the game?
I can't wait. You know, it's a cup final. We've been to some of the Pirates fixtures previously. I know last year I went to the MTN8 final where I can tell you the crowd was just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Last week we were at the curtain closer where Pirates played against AmaZulu, and you know the Pirates fans showed up, and I'm sure it's going to be the same out for this one.
I want us first to discuss at the visiting side, of which that is Sekhukhune United. Yes, they're playing at the Loftus Stadium, but Pirates will be the home side. This side of Sekhukhune, Brendan Truter, when he came on, they were fighting relegation when he took over from Kaitano Tembo. What can you say about him? What has he done? They finished in the top 8.
Yeah.
What can you say he has done to improve this side?
He's done it before. If you look at his time at AmaZulu when he was brought in as a sort of caretaker coach to finish off the season, he did insanely well. I think in his first 5 league fixtures, he kept 5 clean sheets. Veli Mott was obviously instrumental in that one, and he's done a very good job at Sekhukhune. If you look, when he assumed his responsibilities, it was during the November 2022 period where the PSL had obviously had a break for the FIFA World Cup at the time. And you know, he had like a good few weeks to suss his players out, get his team, you know, on those treadmills, get their fitness levels up, and see what he had to work with. And I think in his first game he kept a clean sheet, and you know, they just built from there, because since he's assumed his responsibilities, only Sundowns and Supersport have conceded fewer goals than Sekhukune's 14 during that period. That tells you it's one of the best defenses when he's at the helm.
Well, I couldn't agree any less with you there. Look at the signings that he made when he arrived at Sekhukhune. The likes of Kamukhelo Mukojo, international experience, he's been to Europe. The likes of Vilakazi, like he knows the mentality of winning trophies with Vets and with Mamelodi Sundowns, you know. Is AmaZulu made a wrong decision by firing Brendan Truter?
Gosh, that's such a loaded question. Honestly, I think if they had been patient with him, they would have seen the results. But you know, the PSL and AmaZulu are not a club that has a lot of time. I think they want results immediately. If you look at a coach like Benny McCarthy's time, you know, he had taken them to second place, finishing runners-up behind Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah.
So, you know, that I legit think that was as far as Benny could take them, and maybe as far as the club could go.
And then, what experience does Kamukhelo Mukojo and Vilakazi bring to this team as they facing Orlando Pirates in the final? We know Vilakazi, he's been there with Sundowns, he has done it.
Yeah.
Now they're going into this game with some of the players who have never won a trophy in their lives before, and they might make a history here. What goes on players' mind now?
So I think for me, I'm really happy to see Kamukhelo Mukojo back in the PSL. You know, he's spent a lot of time abroad and playing for some top-notch clubs. I know he's played for Brentford when they were in the Championship, and he played in the Eredivisie, I think, with FC20.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's got European experience, and for him to bring back that to South African shores, I think it's really important. And, you know, I think Brendan Truter said, come on board, you know, this is a project, this is what we're trying to do for the club. And, yeah, it's been an instrumental signing for them. Gone straight into the lineup at that. And if you look at Vilakazi, the other player you mentioned, as a serial trophy winner, I think he's had numerous accolades with Sundowns, and before that with Wits, you know, he was absolutely sensational in his final season with them. I think they lifted the PSL trophy that season, but you know, they had very strong finishes when he was in the team. I think it was second. I think Gavin Hunt was the Bidvest coach at the time, and Vilakazi is one of the players then, and you know, it was
everyone. He was a talk of the town.
Precisely. You know, and it had a team of really good talent. I think Monip Josephs might have been there at the time, Dane Clayt as well. You know, so it was a really young squad, a really competitive squad, and he stood head and shoulders above the rest. So I think for him to get some regular game time now, obviously his age, but he does have the experience, and I'm sure he's giving that to the other attackers. I know Oyizu is in the team, and you know there's another player, I think Masia, I think he was at Baraka previously when they get relegated. Now he's he's signed for Sekhukhune. It is his first season. So I think Vilakazi has been brought in, to try and also manage these players and, show them the sort of insights that they might not have seen.
You're speaking about key players at Sekhukhune. There's one name that you're forgetting. And this player, he has been with Orlando Pirates before.
Yeah.
Edwin Chima.
Yeah.
And he scored in their last game against Orlando Pirates in the DStv Premiership not so long ago, where they drew 1-1.
Yeah.
How Pirates stopped this guy? Because he scored in their last 2 previous games.
Yeah, so the other fixture was the Super Sport 1-0 victory over them.
Definitely.
For the Pirates game, look, I was really impressed with his movements in the box. He never went to sleep. I think once the corner came in, it came off 2 of his teammates before. It was like a 50-50 with the goalkeeper, and he sort of got his head above them, and I was impressed with that goal. Against Super Sport, it was also a very clinical header, so he looks like somebody who is definitely a threat. But if you look at his performance in the Nedbank Cup as well, he's nominated for the Player of the Tournament. That's incredible for a defender to be nominated for that accolade. It just tells me that he is not somebody to be trifled with, and he could look to get one over his former club in this one.
So how does Orlando Pirates defenders stop him, especially with aerial balls?
Look, it's probably going to be a 1v1 with Maela, maybe tasked to pick him up. You know that he is a bit of a hands-on defender. You see him in those big fixtures. I think in the Soweto derby last season, or this season rather, he obviously got that red card. He looks like somebody that he will take the situation by the scruff of the neck, and if that means getting his hands on Chima, I don't think that's a problem for him.
Okay. Tommy Nkosiloch is back with the Pirates. He was in full training session yesterday, which was Tuesday. So now, how does Pirates will look like going into this game? The setup, surely now the setup changes. How do you see the lineup of Orlando Pirates going into this game?
Well, look, the first name on the team sheet has to be Monopula Saleng. I think the man is absolutely on fire, is unplayable. Every time he gets the ball, Pirates look like they're going to do something. And for me, he's been the impact player after season. I'm sure he does actually pick up that individual accolade when the PSL do announce those. But it's been absolutely sensational. Look at his MTN 8. I think he was the last man standing as well.
Yeah, he was. He is definitely the last man standing. He's the top goal scorer. Like the performance he showed up. I think that's why he stamped his authority to say to Coach Jose Rivero, look what I can do for the team, coach.
100%. This is his first season, also the coach's first season, so they look like they could be a dynamic duo going forward. There's also Terence Dukamanja. I think he's also shown that his qualities, his prowess in the business end of the pitch. There's also Kermit Erasmus. So I think that will be the 3-pronged attack. And Lorch I don't think he's going to start this game, to be honest. I think that they have a blueprint and they could look to bring him on. But for me, I think it's not Lorch's game to start.
Okay. Which team here you can say they had like a tough road going into this final? Looking at their opponents in the Nedbank Cup.
Yeah. For me, I think I'm gonna have to go with Sekhukhune. The reason being is, if I look at the semi-final clashes, Pirates had Chiefs, a Chiefs team that were really like gloating when they had the draw, when they had seen that they had drawn Pirates. Obviously, they were saying, give us Pirates, and they go and take a loss. And I just don't think that mentally they were there. If I look at the Stellenbosch outfit, Ikram Reyners was, oh my gosh, I think he's got like...
He's a top goal scorer with 6 goals.
6 goals,
in the competition.
And he was absolutely unstoppable. And I think for Reyners and company to play in that Stellenbosch team, I think even Steve Barker, he had been offered a long-term deal, and I'm sure a trophy was one of the conditions, if they want to renew his contract. And I fancied them. I actually did fancy Stellenbosch, but for Sekhukhune to get the job done, obviously bringing in the keeper swap at the end there, there's a lot of tactical battles that went on, and it wasn't an easy victory. It was played away from home. I think the game was in Cape Town, if I'm not mistaken. Stellenbosch have been very strong at home, and similarly, Sekhukhune have been very poor away from home, at least if the DStv Premiership is anything to go by.
So with Coach Jose Rivero, he might win a double this season. His first season, I think Orlando Pirates, when they doing a review at the end of the season, they'll be like, this is our main man. Looking at how the Pirates closed the season, and they might even close the season with another trophy.
With another, yeah.
What can you say about him?
It's probably the quickest review ever. If I look at the last half a decade or so, I think no other coach comes close. I think what he's done is absolutely incredible in his first season. And if you look at last year's CAF Confederations Cup, where they went to the final, I think he would have seen their performances in that and looked at which players can he use to his the best to his team, and see how he could stretch their game plan out, because that was a knockout competition.
Yeah.
And if you look at this season, locally they've reached 2 finals, lifting the one, and now they could actually potentially lift a second one, which I think they will. So I think this has been absolutely incredible. Maybe the DStv Premiership could be within their reach next season. They did finish second, but there was a bit of a points difference for me.
Yeah.
But I think that he's definitely the man for the job. Obviously, 2 trophies is no easy. Well, 1 rather.
Yeah.
Potentially 2. Don't want to get too carried away.
Yeah.
But I think that the football that they've played, it actually, the results speak for themselves. They've been blitz on the counter attack. Got some really fiery players, and if you look at the Diski team, I think there was a few players that have progressed to the first team. Yeah,
Ratomo, and also they'll be calling some of the players who were promoted from the Ikiski team but on loan, the likes of Radio Pane, who is a striker.
Yeah.
So which striker do you see leaving Orlando Pirates? I know that Evanga is also linked with exiting the Orlando Pirates. They've signed almost about 9 strikers. If I'm not mistaken.
Crazy. Is Kwama Pepra still there?
Who?
Kwama Pepra, he was.
Is
he still there?
Yeah, he's still there,
Gosh,
and he's also leaving the club, as per reports are saying.
Yeah, well, look, it just goes to show that their front line is absolutely bolstering, and they've got their main man. They found him. Obviously, Saleng was known at I believe Swallows last season, and now he's come back with a bang. To be honest, there will be a squad overall, at least in the forward section. I think those strikers were there as backups, and with Saleng being fit for the entire season, I think lots of hopes were hung on him, and he's just been called up as well to the preliminary Bafana squad. Yeah.
Okay, give me your predictions. Who do you see being crowned as the new Nedbank Cup champions for 2023?
Well, look, I think it's gonna go to Pirates. I think Sekhukhune do have a very impressive defensive record. You look at the keeper Badra Sangare.
Yeah.
10 clean sheets in 20 league appearances. That's absolutely absolutely sensational. 50% clean sheet ratio.
Yeah.
I think Ronan Williams has got about 60-odd%. And then there's a few other goalkeepers, but they haven't played as many games as he has. You look at somebody like Darren Keat, 11 clean sheets, but it's taken him 27 league appearances. So 10 and 20, it's absolutely massive. And I think that he could be the best player on the pitch for Sekhukhune. I think he's going to be tested on the day, but with the way Pirates are playing, they're gonna unlock that Sekhukhune defense, and I think it's gonna go to Orlando Pirates.
All right. In that note, Desh Parthab is backing Amapagapaga to lift the 2023 Nedbank Cup. Don't forget to follow us on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe, and also look for our social media pages. At Twitter, we are at SBN_ZA. On Facebook, Soccer Betting News, one word. Until next time,
cheers.
we're out.
For more soccer betting tips and previews, get the latest copy of Soccer Betting News for only 10 Rand at your nearest Hollywood Bets branch or news agents.